An arrest is an indication that probable cause exists to believe the subject was involved in the offense alleged. A person is innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. March 19, 2024. CPSO arrest man for act cruelty to animals. On March 17, Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office deputies were dispatched to a home on Eopelousas Street in Lake Charles in reference to a cruelty to animals complaint. When deputies arrived on scene, the complainant, Esteban E. Papian, 26, Lake Charles, advised when he arrived at home and opened the door he observed one of his dogs had been shot and killed. He further stated he did not go inside, but shut the door and called law enforcement. After further investigation, Papian stated to deputies he had shot the dog. He was arrested and booked into the Calcasieu Correctional Center and charged with aggravated cruelty to animals, and criminal mischief. He was later released on a $45,500 bond set by Judge Tony Fazio. CPSO Deputy Hunter Keenan is the arresting deputy on this case. CPSO Detective Jill Feverjean is the lead investigator on this case. March 8, 2024. CPSO arrests 2 for trafficking. In June 2023, Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office detectives received a report in reference to a possible carnal knowledge of a juvenile. During the investigation, it was discovered Joshua D. Dixon, 2, 18, Sulphur, was having a sexual relationship with a juvenile, who was under the age of 16. It was learned Joshua made efforts to harbor the victim at his residence and hide her from law enforcement. Joshua also provided the girl with illegal narcotics when they were together. Further investigation revealed Jennifer Dixon, 46, Sulphur, was helping her son, Joshua, harbor the victim, who had been reported missing, for sexual purposes. Jennifer also made efforts to hide Joshua's sexual relationship with the girl from law enforcement. During the investigation, it was discovered Joshua had left the area with the victim. On March 7, Joshua and the juvenile were located in Montana by the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force, at which time he was arrested and booked. The same day Jennifer was located and arrested and booked into the Calcasieu Correctional Center. They are both charged with trafficking of children for sexual purposes and contributing to the delinquency of juveniles performing sexual acts. Joshua is additionally charged with contributing to the delinquency of juvenile CDS law. Judge Tony Fazio set Joshua's bond at $525,000 and Jennifer's bond at $825,000. Joshua is currently awaiting extradition back to Calcasieu Parish. CPSO Special Victims Unit Detective Alexander Vincent is the lead investigator on this case. February 16, 2024. CPSO arrests man for ag assault with a firearm. On February 10, at approximately 1:30 p.m. Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office deputies were dispatched to a restaurant on Enterprise Boulevard in Lake Charles in reference to a weapons complaint. During the initial investigation, detectives were advised there was a verbal altercation involving 2 individuals in the parking lot that continued into the lobby of the restaurant. Detectives then learned one of the individuals, later identified as Seth J. Warrior, 49, Houston, Texas, exited the restaurant and re-entered with a handgun, confronting the other individual and pointing the gun at him before leaving the scene. After further investigation, on February 14, Judge Tony Fazio signed a warrant for Warrior's arrest. He was located the following day, arrested and booked into the Calcasieu Correctional Center. He is charged with aggravated assault with a firearm. His bond is set at $60,000. CPSO Deputy Antonio Higgins is the arresting deputy on this case. CPSO Detective Alan Cormier is the lead investigator on this case. March 15, 2024. CPSO deputy terminated after arrest. On February 27, Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office detectives began an investigation on Deputy Brian Dugas, 57, Lake Charles. After receiving a complaint in reference to indecent behavior with a juvenile. During the investigation, detectives learned Dugas had multiple sexually inappropriate conversations with juveniles. On March 15, Dugas was arrested and booked into the Calcasieu Correctional Center and charged with 4 counts of indecent behavior with a juvenile. His bond has not yet been set. Prior to being terminated today, Dugas worked as a school resource officer and had been with the department since 2019. This type of behavior will never be tolerated at our department, and our deputies will always be held accountable. The actions of Dugas are disgusting and an embarrassment to our department and our profession, stated Sheriff Tony Mancuso. As soon as we received the complaint, Dugas was pulled from his school until the investigation was completed. CPSO Special Victims Unit Detective Jeff Atkinson is the lead investigator on this case. February 16, 2024. CPSO arrests man for multiple counts of possession of child PRON. In September 2023, detectives with the Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office, working with Homeland Security Investigations and the Louisiana Attorney General's Office, as part of the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, received a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children in reference to child sexual abuse material, CSAM, saved to a Gmail account. During further investigation, approximately 46 CSAM videos and images were located on an account associated with Larry J. Burnett, 29, Sulphur. On February 14, Judge Tony Fazio signed a warrant for Burnett's arrest. The following day he was located at work, and when detectives spoke with him, he confirmed he was in possession of CSAM. He was arrested and booked into the Calcasieu Correctional Center and charged with 46 counts of possession of child pornography. His bond is set at $400,000. CPSO Special Victims Unit Detective Eric Perry is the lead investigator on this case. Equality before the law, also known as equality under the law. Equality in the eyes of the law, legal equality, or legal egalitarianism, is the principle that all people must be equally protected by the law. The rule of law is a political ideal that all citizens and institutions within a country, state, or community are accountable to the same laws, including lawmakers and leaders. It is sometimes stated simply as no one is above the law.